Good morning. Welcome to the weekend vlog. I'm getting ready to go to London. Could I be buying Heat magazine? You never know. I've got my makeup set out. I'm gonna have fun with it today, and I'm gonna go with the same earrings of the other day, tulips and snails, because I steamed my cardigan yesterday, and it drapes so beautifully. Wearing my new dress I made, and yeah. So, feeling very, very excited. Oh, I remember there's a little hair there I need to grab because I was picking at it last night. So, I need to get rid of that. It's probably like not even like a mil or two, but my obsessive picking is not great. So, yeah, let's get rid of that. But yeah, so I'm going to do myself some fun sparkly green makeup. I'm going to try and put some stamps in there as well if I want to, but if not I might just do sparkly green makeup and my little dot. I need to get my black for my little dot, don't I? So yeah, but no, I'm going to do some makeup, wash my face and all the good stuff. Actually need to put some sun cream on before I do my makeup. That might be an idea, because although it's warm today, but it's also going to be a little bit of a breeze and, you know, pleasant. UV's got to be high, so, and I get really affected by that. So yeah, so I'm going to put some of my Japanese sun cream on. My sister got me, because that's really good and it feels like nothing. It's slightly lemon scented, which is really different for sun cream. I didn't get around to do my eyebrows yesterday, so we're just going out with uneven eyebrows, but they're probably not uneven, I'm just being pernickety. But yeah, so I'm going to get myself ready, because yeah, it's just coming up to 9. And I want to be heading out by 9:30. Probably should check the buses really, shouldn't I? To be getting a bus, to be getting a train for about 10 seems sensible. So where are we? There is a bus at past. There's one at 10. That doesn't work. The joys of buses. Well, in 11 minutes or 42. Okay, we're going to be getting the actual half-past bus, so, which is fine. Although it is in white, it's not showing as live, but then again, it doesn't leave town for another 15 minutes, so yeah. Get that bus. If all else fails, I'll grab a taxi down to the train station. But just because I want to be on time today, so. But yeah, I need to finish chucking stuff in my bag and all the good stuff, so yeah. But for now I'm going to go do my makeup, get myself ready, because I want to look really dressed up today. I want to look like a real human while I meet new people. So yeah, very, very excited. Which is really nice. So rarely do I do something new and feel excited. Usually I feel really sick. So yeah. Oh, excuse me. Just chugged loads of Pepsi because it's icy cold, and yeah, throat could appreciate a cold drink this morning, so yeah, but I'm gonna get myself ready, and then yeah, we will be heading off to the train station to go to London. So excited, it will be so cool. So yeah, so I will catch up with you as the day goes on. Obviously I'm going to bring you guys with me on my camera, which is really cool, but also if I feel a bit nervous I do have my phone, so I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway, because, you know, as I love to say, she'd be only human. So yeah, so I'll see you beautiful people a bit later as we get into London. my contribution for the swap. It's already looking magic, and that looks really good. It's lettuce green.
So what do we do? Do we just take it?
I'm assuming so. The swap table is really good. There is so much good stuff. These are screaming out to me. Because yeah. It's even O's. It's the lovely Sarah and her ticket, and what she doesn't know is I made her a present.
I made you a present?
Yay! While we're at the craft table, we may as well swap.
You get an emotional support sheet.
I love it. You get a project bag. Oh my god, he's adorable.
Thank you. Oh, and I see it. You're so clever.
It's because it's
I don't know if you work out how to do
the
that.
crochet around the edge stuff. It's wizardry.
That is wizardry. Where'd you get that from? I need all the details.
Timu. I have got my bits from the swap, and they are magic. So let me show you. So some Jules Fun, which is cool because I love Jules Fun. And then there is this wonderful green and this chunky squishy merino and this amazing neon sock. I'm so excited. So yeah, so I took you all in and I got swaps back, and I'm working on project, and I've started my hat in a bigger hook size to see how it's going to go.
Well, it was, you started it, didn't you, Hannah? So during Game of Wool, there was the airing of Game of Wool. There was a lot of talk and chatter, and a lot of people made videos about each episode. And as assistants to the Lydia, some of them I found quite difficult to watch. So things would pop up, and I was exploring. And then one day, Naila and Lauren popped up on my YouTube, and I was like, firstly, people who look like us. There's people who I could relate to, and they were having fun with it. Yes, there were things, we all know Game of War wasn't perfect, the first series, but they saw the good and the interesting and the stuff to fix, and it was fun to watch. So I was like, oh, Lydia, I found these girls on YouTube. They're really cool. We should watch their videos.
So me and Hannah watched a couple of their videos, and then one night.
I had been watching all of them.
Yeah.
Like, as they were coming out.
Then one night when Isaac finally responded to a message, because he's the sort of person where if he responds to your message, you have to respond immediately, or you've got another 5 to 7 working days before he responds. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? So I texted her. We were just talking about our experience of watching the show back, and I was like, have you watched Crochet Junction's YouTube?
At that point, I had already seen Hannah in the comments.
Oh, had you?
Yeah. I was like, I know you've
I
seen
avoided the
it. I know
comment
you've
section.
seen it,
I wasn't looking at any comment sections. And both of us sort of said we felt seen in those videos a bit more. And then I think I reached out to you on Instagram
follow.
Yeah, I was like, if you ever want to do like a wrap-up video, we could do something with Isaac, and we could just like have a little chat, and we did do that in January. I think he came, you guys all came, and we did a little wrap-up video together, which was where this has sort of all started.
Yeah, the rest is history. Since then,
Yeah.
nice.
So good for ones.
I know. It feels like we're going to a long way. Yeah.
Feels like you guys do. When you were starting out in craft world, or just making, did you see yourself reflected in the crafting world, in the designers you followed, the patterns you bought, the brands you encountered? Like, what was that like? Because it sounds like there's been a connection based on people who look like me. But what about when you were starting out by yourself?
For me, not initially. So I learned to crochet solely from YouTube. It was about 10 years ago, and I was looking for something to do during like split shifts at work. And initially, I didn't feel like I could see anyone that looked like me. And then I found, I don't know if there's any crocheters in the room, but you probably know like Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. When I found Tony, I was like, okay, hey girl. And then since finding her, then it kind of died off a bit again. So she kind of reeled me in and made me feel like, okay, this is a space that could be potentially for me. But then it died off again. I'm seeing a lot more people now, which is really fun and really nice. And also it's a lot of feedback that I get as well from people saying, like, it's really cool to see you on YouTube and like to see someone that looks like me. So that's really nice and really rewarding. I think there's definitely room for more growth, and I'd like to see that. But yeah, initially no, then it's kind of picked up a little bit more in the more coming years. But yeah, Tony for me was like that first person where I was like, okay, I think
And her stuff are so good too.
yeah.
I don't know. Gosh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's different. I don't find that. Yeah, there are a lot of people who sort of are interested in the same things as me, who sort of look like me or come from the same background as me. So it's been nice to sort of be surrounded by that. In addition, like, you know, being on the show in general, like, I'm a 25-year-old guy. Most of my peers are not knitting and crocheting. Like, generally, I'm the one where people are like, oh yeah, Isaac can do that. So just opening myself up to so many people who can do those things and are interested in those things in the same way that I am. Yeah, it's definitely made me realise that there's more of us. Yeah.
I mean, I've been knitting since I was 8, so it's been a long journey, and I think the reason that we created Waku Yarn was because, one, we wanted an outlet for us to sort of explore our Ghanaian heritage, but also that it, you know, there are so many fantastic indie dyers out there. There's so many of us, and it's a really wonderful community. But we felt like we could bring something to that community, and I think that was one of the interesting things that came out of being on the TV. Is that you know, we have people who are like, it's nice to see someone, you know, seeing what crafting that can look different. Because if I look around this room, like, it looks amazing, right? But that's not what the BBC says. The BBC calls knitting granny craft or crochet granny craft, and it's like, that's fine. There are lots of older people who knit and crochet, but they're then teaching their daughters and their grandchildren or their grandsons. You know, I think that it's an opportunity to show that actually crafting is really diverse and it runs across so many different intersections in society. So yeah, I think for us we wanted to be part of that change.
You're like ditto.
Yeah, ditto.
Why does representation in craft matter? Who does it matter for? Is it just for makers of color, do you think, or does it change the space for everyone?
I think representation is important anywhere, no matter, you know, first of all, you know, no matter what it is you're doing. But I think particularly in craft, because there, like Lydia said, there is a stereotype that there's like a very specific kind of person that does it, and it may be like, oh, you know, well, it's not that deep, like you just you know, making something and having fun with it. But actually, if it's something that you're passionate about, seeing yourself reflected in people who are successful in it is really, really important.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, I would say that from my experience of being at yarn shows and selling yarn, I've had people come up to me who've said, well, I don't know how to push this because black women don't knit. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but they do. I know they do, but there's still this idea that that isn't the case. And like, oh, I can't get my friends to do this because they don't do that. And actually, if you don't see yourself in it, then it's a lot harder to encourage other people to get involved. And yeah, so I think it's really important to have a spectrum across. Like, it's really great that we have Isaac, because Isaac is a guy. And a lot of guys I know are like, oh, I wouldn't do that. But actually, he makes really cool stuff, and I wish I could be as good as him. I could be good at all of these
You
guys.
can do it, you can get there. And for the record, I think it was Lorna Hamilton Brown, didn't she do like her thesis or some major piece of writing called Black Women Do Knit? Right? So, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, to be honest, I think I kind of covered this in the other answer, and I think it's not just about the representation of of us in the craft world, but it's also the younger children. Like I want my girls, as you might have seen them running around here causing absolute mayhem. Like I want them to learn how to knit, and I want their friends to learn how to knit. And I think there's so much value that crafting can add to everyone's lives, that I think it's really important that people see that it's not just for one group, and it's actually for everyone. And that's why events like this are really encouraging.
Thank you. There's a difference between a space that says it's inclusive and one that actually feels like it. What does genuine inclusion look and feel like in a craft community? Like this. Like, are we off to a good start?
Yeah. Literally like this. Like, this feels really special to me. Like, just looking around the room, everyone's just been really warm, really welcoming, and it's just nice to see like just a big melting pot of different people. Like, things like this need to happen more often, 100%.
You've got to come to our stitch nights.
I know, you're too far from me. I left the house at 6 a.m. today. I can't do that every month.
You're farther away than I thought you were then.
Just north of Birmingham. So, yeah. Where do you think I come from?
Oh, sorry. I thought everybody was. That's all right. Yes, I know where our special guests are from.
I think you kind of like wrapped it up in one.
Yeah.
And it's still what I'm thinking is what can I do in my area to make it more inclusive and open it up, because I keep seeing these really cool like stitch nights like your one here, but Woolwich isn't feasible for me to come to in an evening. And actually, how can we start setting up these communities where we are and where we're living, and making it really accessible? And so I'm scouring for venues. I have a fellow school mum in the room here, and I keep on going, what about this place? What about this place? You know, how can we make it open to everyone? And I think that's also what part of it is, and also trying to reduce the barrier to entry. I mean, you've got YouTube, which is fantastic, but not everyone can learn from a screen. So how can we open things up so that people have an opportunity to learn from others as well, which is why I think events like this and Stitch Nights are really important, because it not only creates a community, but it enables people to come together who might not have an opportunity to learn how to do a craft otherwise.
What about yarn shows, right? Like, where we have everybody in one place. Like, could we be mobilizing people to take knitting and crochet back to their communities as well? I also think, yarn shows, like even the mini marketplace we have, seeing the diversity of knitters in the marketplace is really important too.
I think a lot of people just don't know how to take it back, and I think this is why knitting in public or stitching in public is so important, because whenever I sit on the train and I knit, someone comes and talks to me, which is fine. Some days I just want to knit on my commute to work, but I will take my earpod out and I will have that conversation, because I want people to be like, oh yeah, this is exciting, this is cool, and I'm not embarrassed of it. And I think that it's becoming more acceptable. I don't know if it was ever not acceptable, but I remember when I bought my knitting when I visited you at university, and I was 16 and you and your friends were 18, and your friend was like, no knitting in the house. This friend, by the way, who asked me to make her a hat a few years later, so she does have a hand-knit hat from me. But I distinctly remember it was like very, very uncool back then, and now it's like, no, this is really cool. So I think that maybe it's equipping people to work out how they can take it home, because it's really hard to know and to have the energy to do that in this, it's a hard life at the moment. So
that's why we're all making things. Right?
Indeed.
To sort of
Build our
support that
homestead
mental
skills.
health.
Yeah. Post-apocalyptic skills, yeah. All be warm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else freeze.
Everybody will want to be in the bunker next to us.
Yes.
100%. Amazing. Lydia and Hannah, your sisters and you're building Way Coop Yarn together. How has that shared identity, cultural background, and family dynamic shaped what you make and the colors you work with?
So I think when we started, we were like, it has to be bright, because we were looking at wax prints and we were like, we're going to take these specific colours from everything that's bright and put it into our yarn. And we've definitely developed over the years. Turns out Lydia doesn't like bright colours. She's very, she likes a muted palette, and I'm the opposite, and I like a very unmuted palette. So we've had to work together to try and create things that work for both of us, because actually when we're going out and selling yarn, we're not just selling for ourselves, we're selling for everyone else. We want to create things that everyone can have access to and everyone might like. So I think that's actually helped, because going back to our West African heritage, everything isn't just bright actually. We don't have to take all of our inspiration from wax print cloth, we can take it from places, people, from art, so we can find things that work for us and then try and put it into a skein that then works for all sorts of projects. So that's been really important, but we've also interwoven our heritage throughout the entirety of our business.
Can I just pass in for interwoven sweater now?
Yeah.
Wakey up.
This is just a promo thing.
When we walked through Hyde Park during COVID, and Lydia was like, I think I might dye some yarn. I was like, oh, I'll do that with you. Thank goodness, because they're just not very good at it. But
Tell us how you really feel about it.
In case anybody was wondering about the Civil
But we
War
work
era.
together because I dye the yarn and Lydia does everything else. So Lydia's excellent at pretty much everything else. But when we were walking through, we said to our dad, oh, what does family mean in Gar, which is his native language? And he was like, Waku. And we were like, cool, there we go. And actually, Waku is a family business. It's me and Lydia's face mainly, but we do a lot of the work. But our mum is behind the scenes helping. She's looking after the kids if we need to dye yarn. Our sister's there doing the background, doing admin. Our dad is kind of around on video.
And demands a sweater.
We dye all of our yarn in our mum's backyard. So it has become a family thing. And then actually, my mum is white British, so we can take things from her and bring it in as well. It doesn't have to be one thing. We don't have to be one thing. We can be many things.
And I think the dynamic between us, and me and Alison were chatting about this, is obviously we're sisters. So if you have a sister, you might know, sisters can fight and be best friends 5 minutes later. And I think we have that, and that is totally fine, because at least we can say how we feel to each other, and there's no tiptoeing around it, and then we get through it. And I think that's helped, and it's really helped the development of the business as well. And we bring different elements to it. Yeah, there we go.
I feel like we've had a lot of insight into your relationship there today. Nyala, this question is for you. Your work through Crochet Junction has built a real community. What did you see was missing that made you want to create that space?
Oh gosh, that's deep, isn't it? To be honest, it wasn't really about that for me. I was just really happy to finally have a hobby. That's really what it came down to. I was not, a lot of my friends that I've met in this space, they grew up as children who were really into crafts. That was not me at all. I wasn't making friendship bracelets and colouring in. I can't my dad's an artist, but I cannot draw at all. I've never seen myself as creative. So to find something where I felt creative, where I actually had something to do other than just watching The Unwise Essex, it felt like a better use of my time. And so to me, I was just doing something that made me happy. I never started Crochet Junction thinking that it was going to be this big thing, or that I'd be doing things like this. Never in a million years. I was just crocheting in my living room and having fun with it. Everything that's come after that is a happy bonus for me, and it's just been really nice. But yeah, it just started as a bit of a distraction, to be honest. But yeah.
And next step is world domination. Baby steps. Isaac, got a question for you too. Game of Wool put craft on primetime TV. So
Yeah.
did that change anything for you personally, or for the wider conversation about who gets to be a maker?
For me personally, no. I've very much always been the kind of person that just marches to the beat of my own drum. Like, I'm not going to do something because I think that other people think it's cool. I'm going to do it because I enjoy doing it, and that's that. If you have a problem with it, I don't care. But yeah, I do think that it possibly had an impact on the wider community. Like, spoilers if you haven't seen the show, but guys, it's been a while, so get on that. But when it got to as of halfway through the show, the majority of the contestants remaining were men, and I don't know if that's something that people were necessarily expecting. I don't know if that's something that people think was justified. I certainly think so, but then again, I'm biased. But yeah, it was cool that, you know, we could be in this group of people who were really talented at knit and crochet, who also happen to be people who you wouldn't think would be talented at knit and crochet, and that's I definitely think that's had an impact. You know. Since it's happened, Gordon, who was on the show, he's amassed like thousands of subscribers on YouTube because people just want to hear what he has to say. Holger's got he's working on a TV show with CBeebies. Simon has been a model for Stylecraft. Like, you know, all of these things that.
What are you doing?
He's part of this cool group.
So, you know, I've been on YouTube now, whatever, I'm doing things. So, but, you know, the point I'm making is we're all being seen by a lot of different people, and if that's, you know, making the next guy down the street turn around and start knitting or start crochet, then yeah, I'm all for it, it's awesome.
You're here with the cool kids.
Yeah. It's cool, kids. So,
How do our identities, race, culture, background, show up in the things that we make, whether consciously or not?
Always part of what I'm creating.
This is crazy soft. Alpaca silk and cashmere. I get it, but yeah, no. The joys is it's my birthday in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to collect everyone's info and be like, you know you love me. You know you really love me. I'd like some of this, please. I can shop, but not have to buy anything then.
Did you make your dress?
I did. And that's a lovely lady.
Sorry.
That's some skein and you can chip out whenever you like. You a spinner?
I have before, but I'm not a spinner.
Here is our afternoon tea.
3 hours?
With lovely new friends.
Beauty. Where did you go when you
And then soon you'll realise crafty lights probably better.
We've had afternoon tea and it's been magic, and I have won a prize. I've just held it up like a fish. But yeah, there's a lovely new crafting people. All the new crafting friends, and everyone is magic here. So yeah, we've had a great time. I've been shit at vlogging. So Sarah, so we're both shit at vlogging. It's great, but yeah, I have a prize. Yes. Hello, in Big Primark before it closes. Like about half an hour, which is crazy. Found myself a cheap linen dress and just looking at some bits and pieces before I get the train home. My voice is very hoarse because I have not stopped talking for so long. So yeah, it's been the best day. And yeah, all kinds of plans have been made. I found like 2 more craft groups to go to, so 1,000 out of 10. But for now, I'm going to potter in Primark, and then I will catch up with you when I get home. So see you later. So many tiny things. My heart is happy. Hello, happy Sunday. I am exhausted. Such a good time yesterday. Socialising for like 10 hours, which is so much for me. But yeah, my fatigue and my I didn't eat much fatigue. So, you know, the diabetes fatigue and the normal fatigue are kicking my ass right now. I am honestly, my eyelids are, I literally feel like I could melt, that level of tired. So yeah, I don't know how much I videoed yesterday. I was just enjoying myself. I met the lovely Sarah, HOTC Crochets, at the station. She's an absolute doll. I love her, she's amazing. Besties. Cannot wait. We've already, you know, we're going to make plans to see each other. I'm going to go down her way. I'm going to teach her how to sew. We're going to have fun. She loved her little bag, which hopefully you would have seen the little clips I took. I filmed that on my camera on my phone. I can't remember. I haven't watched anything back. So yeah, but she made me a present. It's a little sheep. And yeah, I showed Brian it this morning, and he has named it. There's like a little that meme videos he watches that are like black and white drawings, and there's a sheep that just goes meep meep, I'm a sheep. I said meep meep, I'm a sheep. So his name is Meep Meep the sheep. So yeah, so he's Meep Meep, I'm a sheep. So, but yeah, so oh god, dropping him, but he's adorable and I love him so much. So yeah, so Meep Meep is, yeah, new crochet buddy. But yeah, had such a good time. Everyone I met, you know, was so lovely. Made so many new friends. And yeah, it was just so wholesome. And just, yeah, everyone was just so welcoming and kind. And I was a bit verbal diarrhea. And just talked and talked and talked, which is not my normal. But when I'm comfortable, I can do that. So yeah, and as ever, my neurospicy filter was, yeah, I had no filter, so it was just, yeah, really, there was no whole bars, a bit like on here, there's no whole bars, so yeah, but yeah, it was so good. I had fun doing the yarn swap. There was so much, it was a whole table, and it was like that tall off the table at one point. It was ridiculous. So I did drop my stuff off, then let it build up. There was loads then. I went and got some bits, came back to the table, and then I was like, I'm gonna go have a look. They had like four stalls there. I was like, I'm gonna go have a look around the stalls. Bought yarn at the stall, one of the stalls, had a look at all of them, chatted, it was really nice. And then I had another look at the swap table, and I picked up some more because there was so much and the day was getting on, and basically it said anything that was left at the end of the day was going to get donated to a thing. So yeah, but there was just still tons of it, so I was like, I don't feel too bad taking a couple more. So I got another couple balls. So yeah. And then also I lucked out, and there was like raffles during the main you know, chat bit of the day. There's sort of world sort of you're stitching in public, so, or you know, crochet knit in public, but it was just called Stitch, so that was inclusive, which is amazing. And then, you know, so it included everyone then, embroidery, all the fun stuff. And then yeah, there was a bit of a talk, which was very cool. And then yeah, the afternoon tea, there was another little raffle in it, which was really cool. I only went and won one of the two raffle prizes, which is so cool. I've won like tickets on like Sky thing for like theatre and that. But I've what's the prize? What prizes have I've won a book for my niece, because you know, adopted auntie is an amazing thing. So yeah, I want a book bundle for my niece. So yeah, as great as it is, I don't see myself digging into Miffy books. But yeah, so but physical prizes, are not my forte. I enter things just because I like to doom scroll on my phone. So if I'm going to doom scroll, I doom scroll the Sky app, and I doom scroll O2 Priority, because if I'm going to win prizes, I'll do it with, you know, safe people who I can trust to try and win prizes. And I do Instagram things where I tag people, you know, basic stuff. But yeah, I won one, which is really cool. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, and then I will say, yeah, maybe just chat, and then I'll show you all the stuff at the end. So yeah, so we did the world stitching bit, and then we had afternoon tea, which was very nice. And then we were meant to be kicked out of space at like 5, but it was like coming up near 5:30. Where we then went into the like bar cafe bit of Woolwich Works. So yeah, and then yeah, we pushed a couple of tables together. And there was 1, 2, 3, 9 of us, I think, that stayed. 9, 10 of us that stayed, and carried on chatting. You know, people got drinks, and we just chatted and carried on crafting, and it was a right laugh. It was so fun, really, really good. You know, it just felt really, it sounds stupid, it felt really grown up to be out socialising and just chatting, and yeah, real like freedom of responsibilities. It was a proper day off for me. So yeah, so although I'm tired mentally, I feel so good for having just that time off of everything. Ryan had a wonderful day. He went to a glider and gyrocopter thing, and then they went to the workshop, and then actually they picked me up from the station when I got back into town, and we went and got McDonald's before heading back. So yeah, so we got in at like 12:30, because we ate McDonald's in the car. It was really nice. So yeah, so that was really lovely. So yeah, so we both had a late this morning. He decided not to go to the steam thing today. He's tired, and his people batteries are done, and his hay fever is not doing very well today. So yeah, so we are tired homebodies, which is fine. But yeah, so yeah, but it was nice that I knew he was okay. You know, I technically still pay for dinner because, you know, we did McDonald's for dinner, and he bought himself some Greggs. But yeah, so we had, you know, we both had a lovely day. He got to go off and do his things, but I got to go off and do a fun thing. And yeah, I've learned there's a couple more craft things that happen. There's every Wednesday there's a meet up at Woolwich Works, like a craft meet up, which is really cool. And then there's like one of the, I already said to people, I apologise, I will forget your name. I was really honest, which is good. Ultimately wouldn't have said it. I was like, hi, and we swapped names, and I'm like, I'm going to be entirely honest, I will forget your name because I'm crap with names, but I will remember your face so well. I said, so it might take me a while to remember your name. So yeah, and everyone's like, that's fine. And I'm like, cool. Everyone's lovely about it, because yeah, I really struggle remembering names. It's the worst. So, but yeah, one of the lovely people there, very colourful. She was amazing. She was so cool. I was like, could take a picture of you because I really want to draw you. And yeah, and so many times it's like, let's add each other on Insta, and yeah, and it was so cool. So yeah, so I've got a pile of new crafty friends. And yeah, she's like, I do a thing, we're going to be doing a thing in Brixton in the beginning of July. And I'm like, I will be there. I'm like, yeah, I will travel down. I will come to a craft evening. So I'm going to go do that with a whole load of lovely people. And other people are like, oh yeah, no, I'm London, I'm South, you know. And yeah, so people were coordinating. So get to see other people that various craft things that all happen in London. So it then kickstarts my being brave and going to do things, and you know, ignoring my anxiety and my head being a jerk. I'm going to enjoy things with people who also enjoy the same thing. So it's a nice socialising that isn't as it seems, as it can feel, you know, with certain groups of friends, extremely alcohol based, you know. It's nice to have a social thing that is not alcohol based. People can drink while they're there, that's cool, that's on them. But when you go to things and the whole thing of meeting up is to drink, that's where I get really not quite. So, but yeah, so, you know, having a crafting common is amazing. And yeah, the Knit and Stitch show at Ali Pali in October, we're going to coordinate a meet up as well, which is so cool. So yeah, so I cannot wait for all of these adventures to happen. It will be so fun. It's just, yeah, 1000 out of 10 enjoyment. But yeah, and what I'll do, I'll show you my projects I worked on while I was there, and then I'll show you my wall. And then I did manage to pop to Primark because we left there at about 9ish, and the joys of the old Lizzie line. I went to Tottenham Court Road, got the bits I wanted. I thought I'd be able to get a train from Farringdon, but there were no trains going from there, so I had to yeah, go get the tube to King's Cross, and yeah, I got home. I even managed to pop in Waitrose and go get myself some train snacks, because yeah, the food was nice, but there was only like 2 sandwiches, and the coronation chicken and cheese and pickle. So I'd like the cheese out of the cheese sandwich, and scones in a little sweet plate. So I didn't eat much, and I didn't really eat before I went. So yeah, I did manage to remember all my meds though. But obviously my main meal was like the McDonald's at, God, 11, well by the time we got it, 11:30, so yeah, it was late. So yeah, I need to actually eat some food today. I have already had a yogurt, which is good. I worked on my green Suzette Stitch cardigan, and I did enough rows now, and I joined it under the arms, so it now is, yeah, ready to work on the main body, which would be really cool. Yeah, I will decide how far down I want it to go, but yeah, but it now fits, and that's all cool. So very, very happy I got that far. So yeah, so that was a very nice project to work on, because weirdly a slightly smaller hook, I mean it's only a 4, but it's smaller than a 5, and rushing things, it was much more nicer on my poor used and abused hand. I mean, yeah, my bit of arthritis there, I know, of all the places to get it, it's great, isn't it? Wasn't happy with rushing and doing too many this hurts my hand projects, as I like to do. So yeah, so I think this week coming up I will be crocheting bits, but I will not be doing it in the rush and speed I have been doing the past week or so. So I'm going to take it much slower and calmer and realistic. So yeah, I bought it but I didn't work on it. My raffia hat, this one. So yeah, bought this one, but also I bought the yellow, orange, no, not yellow, green. I think it's just got colour on the label, yeah. But yeah, the sort of, like my Suzette thing, the sort of tennis ball green, that's what I want to call it, raffia. And I decided, because the band around it says to use a 6mm hook, I've been using a 3.5 on that one following the pattern. But I am using a 5, and I thought I'd try it with a looser hook on the main top bit. And I know it's not as tight, obviously, but it's less painful for my hands. So yeah, so I'm giving it a go, and I'm gonna see whether, you know, I can get this, you know, main head bit all good, and then maybe do the edges like going down, and or, you know, get it going round and a bit down, and then the main brim bit up, maybe start off in a smaller hook so it's got tighter, so it's a bit of strengthening. So yeah, so this is an experimental hat, and if it ends up being a floppy hat, it ends up being a floppy hat. But yeah, but this was a lot easier to crochet, and I did get quite far with it. So yeah, so I was quite pleased with how far I got on that. And yeah, it was just so fun to watch and see everyone's projects, all the different things people were doing. Yeah, and there was like people there that hadn't, you know, there was a lady that hadn't knitted in ages, and she was like, I thought I'd come give it a go again. Yeah, I was really enjoying it, and actually it is, one of the wools I picked up was one that she destashed, and then I saw someone walking past one of the wools I destashed, and it's like, this is really cool. So yeah, so we will go on. I've kept them in my backpack. Look how full up it is of proper squishy magic. It's so good. So yeah, it was very fun. I will say though, being on the tube leaning back, my backpack is just squidgy. It was the comfiest thing in the world. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Suggest having just a backpacker yarn. It makes your life better. I will start off with the yarn I won, because it's so quite one yarn. Yeah, this is by Wiku Yarns in the colour Shika. I will show you it because I'm dyslexic and I can't read names, so that. And there's the thing, and I have a Suri silk lace, which is 65% baby alpaca and 35% silk, and it is 50 grams. Yeah, £21 it would have been. I do not need to tell you how insanely soft it is. And yeah, and this is in the same colour shade, so they are complementary. And this is the merino silk alpaca, and it's 60% NSW merino, 15% silk and 15% alpaca, and it's fingering weight. They're both 400 meters. This is per 50 grams because obviously being tiny lace weight there's less of it. But longer distance, I know that from using my lace weight stuff to make my Monet shawl shoulder cover, you know. And this is 400 meters per 100 grams, and this is £22. And yeah, but aren't they lovely colours? If I do them here together, you can see. And the suggest, you know, it was like make a really cool like shawl or, you know, thing, and I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm going to hold them together, and I think it will make the most beautiful little I say little, but you know what I mean, it'll make the most beautiful, like something very lacy and delicate. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with them, and I will say they're both insanely soft. So these are the two yarns I won. I'm so happy. So yeah, so that's amazing, is it not? I'm just going to stack stuff behind me because I've got Primark things next to me to show you. I didn't get loads, but you know, I did go to Primark because, you know, why wouldn't I go to big Primark? I will show you the stuff I got on my... Oh no, let's do the stuff I bought and then we'll go into the stuff I got. And then I got stuff out of their sale bits. I will link them down below. I'll link their website and all the good stuff. But yeah, they had sale bins, and I had a dig through the sale bins because I love a sale bin. I was looking at their sale stuff on their website as well, so before I even knew they'd be there, because I didn't read the actual listing because I'm that person. So yeah, so I have got does it say the name, the colour on it, or am I being a plum? It just says sale. I don't know what the colours are. They might be the same, they might not. I can't remember. I know these two are very similar and these aren't, but these are both the same thing. These are both merino silk alpaca, 6% NSW merino, 50% silk, 50% alpaca, and they're 400 meters per 100 grams. And these were £14 a skein. Because of, one's got a bit of blue hair and another one has a bit of blue there. Yeah, so I'm like, well, it doesn't matter, it looks intentional in my brain, but it's again insanely soft, so soft. So yeah, so, and then I picked up this one, which is, this one's got a little dot of blue on the bottom here. And this is alpaca silk cashmere, so 70% alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. I mean, these are both, where are we? These are both fingering weight. This is double knit, and this is 225 meters per 100 grams. And yeah, so, but I was thinking, because I do mixture of weight yarns, because that's just how I work. I'm yet to learn things, you know. So yeah, some things are nice to use the same thing together. Other things I'm like, the colours go so well, you're all just going to get hodgepodge together, okay? But yeah, but I was thinking of doing something striped because, sorry, I've kind of adjusted the light on this because I was a bit dark, but I'll make it true. They're very, very similar, but this is a bit darker. So yeah, so being a little bit darker, they're all in the same lovely tonal family. So yeah, and even actually these would go nice with it, but I think these together should be their own project. So they could be like, this is the thing I made my winning yarn. So yeah, but these were all £14 each, so altogether 42 £, but they're lovely, and I haven't bought posh yarn from little brands before. I've been to Little Weasel in Paris and buying stuff off Vintage and big places like Warehouse and Hobie, and yeah, so yeah, so very, very happy with these. They're so insanely soft. So yeah, so I'm liking a posh yarn with a really nice makeup of it. So yeah, so love it. And then off the table I got yeah, it was these ones. On my first jaunt, I got these. These are Socks, yeah, by Coop Nets, and it's the colour Helium, and these are super fine wash merino and nylon, as is most sock stuff, but it is the most highlighter yellowy green. It's, yeah, it's so good, but again, very fine. So it will be actually, I think, nice to make something summery out of this. But yeah, but I got 2 skeins and they are 50 grams each, so it's 100 grams there. So I will see what I can make with that. But either way, it is again insanely soft and such a fun colour. I actually have this as a hair dye colour, so I'm thinking I might add some in for my birthday hair when I do Paris July. Top up my hair because I cut it, but as we know, I didn't dye it, so she got some roots. And then I've got this by Rosy Green Wool, and it's the Merino d'Arles, and yeah, it was made in England. That's very cool. Oh, pardon me. Cantaloupe, and yeah, 100% virgin wool, and yeah, it's lovely and soft. It has like the slight, it's not rough, but it's wool. So yeah, but it's like really like lettuce green, which is really cool. So yeah, so I'm very happy with that. And then from the same Rosy Green Wool, someone had put a good bundle of different skeins on there, but there are lots of like there was like beigey colours, and there was some greys and some textured ones, which, you know, were great but not quite for me. And then I got this is Big Merino Hug, and this is undyed, so it's just cream. And this is 100 grams. I think this one was 100 grams too. No, this is 50 grams. This is 100 grams. So yeah, and yeah, it's like super squishy cream. And I think I'm gonna make my mum some little crochet gloves, because yeah, her hands get cold and all kinds of fun stuff, but I think I'll make her some nice little gloves out of that, because she likes wearing those kind of little gloves. So yeah. Super soft and super squidgy. And then we will go on to my second go at the table when it was towards the end, and yeah, I didn't feel too bad taking some more. I got 2 balls of the acrylic cotton mix from Hobbycraft that I've already got. So yeah, so, but I don't have this like goldenrod yellow, and it's such a great sunflower colour. So yeah, so having made things out of these, I thought that would be fun to get. And then literally someone had not long put this up and I was like, oh my god, Jaws one, and they were like, oh, just put that up, and I'm like, oh, I love Jaws one. But I will say, compared to having touched the Ceylons, it now, compared to before, I was like, it's insanely soft. But yeah, but then again, it is acrylic, so there's nothing against acrylic. It's just, you know, if you've got cashmere and alpaca and then acrylic, you can tell the difference. But it's wonderful and it will make such fun things. And this is a 200-gram ball of the Jewel Spun, and it was left over from a project. So yeah, so I got a brand new ball of it, which is insane. So yeah, so I've got a ball of that. And then I saw this first time around, but I was sensible, because I was like, well, I'll put up this much and I'll get some more. But I was like, this is from Rainbow Fusions, and this is 100% tin seal, so it's like a sort of silky kind of texture. So yeah, so it'd be fun or interesting to use by itself, or maybe hold with something else would be fun. And yeah, this is the, is it the Colour Tenner Tuesday? But yeah, hand dyed in Aberdeenshire. So yeah, and they have a website of the same name, so I picked up that because it looks really fun, and I will say I was a sucker for the label. So that is all the yarn I picked up, and I'm very happy with all my treasures. So and also they were giving out these on the table, and then it was like, anyone want another one, please take them, we don't want to take them home. So I have 3 of these of these little sturgeon gentle wash for travel or wool wash, so very useful. So I've got them. And then once obviously we're done chatting and all the good stuff, I went into Central and I went to pile my yarn back up behind me, and I went to Primark because I did want to do IKEA and Sostengrenna and Flying Tiger. I'll be honest, I've done the IKEA stuff online. I've done a home order today. I looked at Sostengrenna, added the stuff and went, do I really need it? No. So I closed it all off. And I don't need anything for Flying Tiger either. So actually I saved myself money by not going to Sostengrenna and Flying Tiger. But did I find myself a dress and a t-shirt I didn't need in Primark? Yes. I'll start with the t-shirt because I'm wearing it. So let me just bend you down 2 secs. I got this. Oh, no, not Meep Meep. No Doubt shirt from the men's section. It was reduced to £5–6 because it reminded me of like the kind of drawings my dad would have done in like the 80s and 90s. So yeah, so nostalgia is why I got the shirt. And then I also got a dress. They had loads of reductions, which was quite nice. But yeah, I got this. I got it in a size 20 because I did hold up the 18 and it would have been quite tight on my bust, and because it is a button-up dress, I don't want pulley buttons. So yeah, they did have it in orange, which, sorry, what I really wanted was a burnt orange. It was lovely, but the size 18, as I said, was tight on my bust, and the size 20, they had one size 20 and it was just shredded at the bottom where someone had obviously, you know, stood on it and stuff, and it just ripped. But they'd still put a reduced sticker on it, or they did it and then someone ripped it. But yeah, so I found one in the black and it was from £18 down to 12, and it's very, like, I love a 90s style dress. The only thing I'm tempted to do, because obviously it's black, so I can dress it up as much as I want. I think I'm going to change all the buttons out, and I'm thinking a mismatched button is going to look so cool on it and give it a level of character. But yeah, but it's just, yeah, a linen dress. I'll tell you the mix of linen and cotton when I get to it, because it just says contains linen or contains cotton. Yeah, contains linen, so I'll tell you how much linen is actually in it in a minute. But yeah, but it's a black button down dress, and the buttons will go obviously all the way out, and it flares, and it has some, not very good at showing clothes, am I? This little tie on the back. So yeah, so lovely for summer. But yeah, I think I need to funky it up with some different buttons. That's the easiest and quickest way to change a bit of clothing, is just redo the buttons into something else. And you have changed it so much. So yeah, so this is 86% viscose, 14% linen. So a good combo. Viscose is lovely in the summer. So yeah, so I got this dress and I'm very excited for it, even if I have to take it in maybe in a few places. But I'm thinking actually, as long as it fits across the... Sorry, camera stopped recording. I'm happy for it to just fit and fit at the bust and then flare out, so then it is comfortable for hot heat basically. So yeah, so but yeah, I'm gonna funk it out. But the buttons on it are okay, but they could be better. So, and I think adding different buttons on it will, you know, bougie it up a bit and, you know, make it a bit fancier. So that is what I'm gonna do. And all the other stuff is little. I'll show you all the bits and then I'll show you the pot at the end. I managed to pick up one of the glass skin collagen Korean face masks. So yeah, so I'm going to give one of them a go. And I also got one of the peel off lip stains in the colour Sweetheart. Sorry, there we go, that colour. Yeah, for like £3, so I thought I'd give that a go. I've not seen any kind of lip stain in my Primark, so yeah. And then this is more for art supplies than holiday. These little dropper bottles, they were £2 for 3. I want to use them for art things because I've seen where people put like something alcohol in America, but here it's surgical spirit, in a dropper bottle, and you drop it on paint and it like, it's a really fun texture and that, so I thought that would be really fun to have in my art kit. So I got these, but there are technically enough that I could do like serum for a travel thing and then also art things, so it could be a bit of both. So I picked them up because they were just a really good value. This I got because it's tiny and adorable and I just wanted it, but also it's much easier to sit and do a little one, sort of, especially like I've taken, say, my night meds and I'm just chilling in bed, and if I have like 1 or 2 bits of skincare next to my bed, I can then do some bits and then use this. And it's a tiny face roller. I have a big one but I just don't use it, but I thought a tiny one is much more doable and less pressure on myself, and it's got a metal bit this end and a texture bit this end, but it's so small. I mean, look, it's my thumb. It's so little. It's £2, but it just seemed such a good little size. So yeah, so as well as travel, I thought this would just be good to have as a, especially if the sad is hitting. We know how the sad hits. Everything just feels really hard work. If I could do a bit of skincare, it does make me feel a lot better and like I've done something and put myself together somehow. And just, yeah, making life a little bit easier helps a lot when you feel like you've got 87 different types of level of depression throughout the year. Fun times. And then I got this. This was £4 and I got it for my stepdad for Father's Day because, yeah, he's such a good egg. So yeah, so I got him this. He grows chilies most years, and yeah, it says hot and spicy extra hot chili. The only thing is there's a little chip on it, but I'm not sure if I did that or it was like that Primark stuff chips by breathing on it. So it's a plant pot, thankfully. So yeah, so I got him this to go with his pack. It's actually down right in front of me on the floor of Tabasco. So yeah, so he is having a spicy themed Father's Day because that's what he likes. And then yeah, as I said before, got his birthday stuff in France, so that's all good because it's his birthday like a week later. So yeah, I love a June birthday. So many of them in my family. But yeah, that's all the bits I got in London and all the things I did, and yeah, it was so amazing. And honestly, it was so worth it, and it was really nice as well because usually I get really anxious, panic about doing things, especially new people, but I was really giddy and excited. So yeah, and yeah, I just have this real, you know, soothed happiness and just, yeah, that little kid bit of joy where I just keep wanting to do that internally, and I'm just like, I make friends. You know, I've got enough space on one hand of my friends, you know, There's still lots of spare fingers, so the fact I can make some crafty friends, you know, will be magic. So yeah, so I'm really happy, and it's been such a lovely wholesome weekend. So yeah, but today, I'll be honest, the rest of the day I've done a wash load. I'm gonna go put it outside to dry because it's breezy enough, I may as well. And I may put on a second wash load to get that out to dry, just while stuff can dry. But I don't know, but if I just do one, I just do one. I've already taken the rubbish out, so tomorrow's sorted. And I'll be honest, I just want to sit and rot. I'm so tired and achy and sore. And yet, as I said, my people batteries are at minus, but for a very good reason. So yeah, so I think I'm going to go just chill out for the day. Make sure I eat some food, because I was not very good at eating food yesterday, so the struggle is real. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy this weekend vlog, because yeah, even I don't know what it looks like so far, and I've got to go back and edit it probably tomorrow, because yeah, editing on a tired brain is not the one. But yeah, it's been, honestly, you know when people say their cup is filled, my cup is overflowing with joy, so I am just so happy, and yeah, 1000 out of 10, so yeah. But thank you to everyone I met, and yeah, I can't wait for us to do so many fun things, and yeah, just to be able to share crafty things and be like, oh, here's my craft friends. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, so 1000 out of 10. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you beautiful people in my next video, and yeah, I will see you later. Bye.